Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bytema X. Today, we're talking about Ox Alpha. First, let's search for Ox Alpha on Google. Here we go. We open the website, and in another tab, we'll also open OpenRouter. One of the interesting things about Ox Alpha is that you can actually try the model without signing up for a subscription, and the website says that your data is not stored. So let's test it. This is the interface. Let's simply type, "Hello." And now let's ask it a simple question. Which model are you? There's no information about who actually created this model. That's interesting. Ox Alpha is basically a stealth model. The creator is still unknown. So instead of relying only on the model's own website, let's look at some benchmark results. And this is where things get really interesting. Ox Alpha isn't just at the top of this benchmark. It beat every frontier model it was compared against. In an independent run of 10 real-world coding tasks, Ox Alpha solved 8 out of 10, giving it an impressive 80% score. Fable 5 came next with 65%. GLM-5.3 and Grok 4.6 both scored 62%. And GPT-5 came in at 52%. But the interesting part is what happened inside those 10 tasks. On Anko-typed variable bindings, Ox Alpha passed, while GPT-5 managed 2 out of 4 and Grok only 1 out of 4. On archetype JSON schema references, Ox Alpha passed again, while the other models scored between 1 and 3 out of 4. Let's start with Fable 5. On the same independent benchmark of 10 real-world coding tasks, Ox Alpha scored 80%, solving 8 out of 10. Fable 5, running at maximum effort, scored 65%. But the interesting part is the task-by-task breakdown. Ox Alpha had the edge on 5 tasks. Fable 5 had the edge on just 1. Both models solved 3 tasks cleanly. And there was one task where neither model managed. But what happens when we compare it directly with GPT-5 Across the same 10 real-world coding tasks, Ox Alpha had the edge on 7 tasks. GPT-5 had the edge on 2. And on one task, both models solved the problem cleanly. Most importantly, there wasn't a single task where both models failed. So out of 10 tasks, Ox Alpha came out ahead 7 times, GPT-5 won twice, and both models tied once. Now enough benchmarks. Let's actually use Ox Alpha. We're going to connect it to OpenRouter and use it directly inside VS Code. So let's go back to OpenRouter. If you already have an account, simply log in. If you don't, create an account first. And here we have the Ox Alpha page on OpenRouter. As you can see, this is the free option with the massive 1 million token context window. Now let's create an API key. We give the key a name. For example, let's call it Ox Alpha VS Code. And click Create. Here is the API key. We'll copy it. And make sure you keep your API key private. Now let's move over to VS Code. In the search bar, type Kilo, and here it is, Kilo Code. Let's install the extension. We'll wait a moment while VS Code finishes the installation. And there we go. Kilo Code is installed. Let's open it. Now we go into Settings. Then Providers. And here we can choose OpenRouter. We paste our OpenRouter API key right here. And now, it's connected. Perfect. Next, we need to choose our model. Let's open the model selector, search for Ox Alpha. And there it is. Ox Alpha. Now we can finally test it inside VS Code. Let's create a brand new folder. We'll call it Ox Alpha. And now we open Kilo Code. For the first test, let's give it a simple but realistic task. Let's ask it to create a landing page. And I want it to work inside this folder, so we can see exactly what it understands and what it generates. So let's tell it, create a modern, responsive landing page inside this folder for a fictional product. And let's see what happens. Okay, Ox Alpha has started working. It's thinking. And now it's creating the files. Oh, here we go. We have a new file called Landing Ox. Let's open it. And the code actually looks pretty clean. Now let's open the HTML page in the browser. And wow, that's actually impressive. We have a responsive landing page for a fictional product called Aquapulse. The layout is clean, modern, and responsive. And remember, we didn't manually build this page. We simply gave the instruction to the coding agent. But let's push it a little further. Let's ask Ox Alpha to add a login page. We'll give it the instruction and let it work. And now we wait for it to finish thinking. Okay, it's modifying the project. Let's refresh the page. And, wow, the login page has been added. So this is where things get interesting. We went from a completely empty folder to a working website, and then added another page.